We good? All right. We're going to get this kicked off in a second. I didn't get an intro. I thought I was going to get an intro, but I'm going to have to introduce myself. Who actually remembers me from my old Twitter account, Svetski? Anyone? Okay. All right. When I put this together, I had just been banned, so I created a new one, but then that got banned. So that's the wrong Twitter handle. I think it's called Ghost of Svetski now, so let's see how long this one lasts. So today, we're going to be talking about Fiat Fascism, and well, Bitcoin, sovereignism, liberty, same shit. So I'm going to kick this off. I want to remind everyone, like, most Bitcoiners already know this, and some people are just starting to realize the importance of this component of Bitcoin. So we all know, and I don't need to remind you of this, that Bitcoin is the most important economic decision any of you will probably ever make. And not only that, but it's the most asymmetric economic opportunity in the history of humanity. And like, we're all lucky enough to be born during this period. It's an incredible thing. So I don't need to remind you of the number go up technology of Bitcoin. What I want to remind everyone of is the moral duty of moving into Bitcoin. Because that's the core of why we're here. The world is like fundamentally being overrun by deranged collectivist, statists, and central planners. And it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican or socialist, communist, MMTist. It doesn't matter. What they are doing is they are trying to like tear down what human beings have built over millennia. And they're trying to turn us into like empty automatons like this. And fundamentally speaking, Bitcoiners are here to change that. And not by replacing one set of rulers with another set of rulers, like what the shitcoiners are attempting to do, but by replacing these maniacs with a set of incorruptible, verifiable rules that are enforced at the level of the individual. And that's how we change the world. Thank you. When the means via which human action is measured, stored, and transacted is outside of the hands of any group or organization or foundation or state, that's when we have true equality of opportunity. There is no other definition of equality of opportunity. We're all going to be born in different places at different times with different talents and all that sort of stuff. The only definition of equality of opportunity is the money, the way we can store and transact our wealth. Without it, all we have is stagnation, corruption, theft, waste, what I like to call the oppression Olympics, wealth redistribution by like the dumbest component of society, like bureaucrats who don't know how to produce anything. Like, that's what we have without Bitcoin. So we are here to change that. And Bitcoin shifts it not only because it fundamentally changes the returns to violence. Like, who's read The Sovereign Individual here? I hope so. If you haven't, add that book to your list. So it changes the returns to violence. But more importantly, it actually fundamentally transforms the relationship the individual has with time, with energy, with resources, and with their future. So that's the notion of time preference. So when the individual changes that relationship, they become a better person. When the individual becomes a better person, the world becomes a better place. And that's the crux of Bitcoin fixes this. That's how it does it. It starts from the ground up. So let's have a look at a couple of the ways Bitcoin fundamentally shifts society. I think this is probably, for me, the most important. And what it is like my very artistic attempt to display the difference between static inequality and dynamic inequality. So no one seems to be talking about this. Like most people who know me know that like I like a lot of Jordan Peterson's work, but even his like too thick to like understand this component, is in the world we have today, we have these static boxes of classes where if you're one of the poors, you can't get ahead. You can't climb because you can't save. Saving is the cornerstone of civilization. If you can't store the product of your labor, you can't move up. And at the same time, in the current system, if you're parasitic enough to be close to the monetary spigot, you don't have to add value. You don't have to produce anything. You can just socialize your losses and you can privatize your gains. And all of us idiots in the middle, we're paying for all of it. We pay for the bottom and for the top. Whereas in Bitcoin, it's not going to remove classes. Classes will always exist. Human beings are different. We coalesce around tribes and around values. But what we get is these permeable barriers where if you are broke, or if you're young, surprise, surprise, if you're young, you probably got less money than someone who's old. You can actually climb, you can save, you can move up the ladder. And if you're a genius and you've created something of value, yes, you will be able to stay up there. But if you're one of those fools of randomness, like Taleb warned us of, who he has become, you will fall. And so just as important as climbing is the capacity to fall, where you cannot take from somebody else because you fucked up. And this is what Bitcoin gives us fundamentally. So this is the social impact. We have the environmental impact. I don't have to talk much about this. The current fiat system survives off idiots like Mnuchin, off dumbass mandates. Like, we're throwing 30 billion masks into like these disposable stupid masks into the environment every fucking month. It's ridiculous. Like the military-industrial complex, the poverty, like all of this crap is what exists to support the fiat system. So when people talk about, Bitcoin and renewables and all that, that's like a fraction of what Bitcoin's going to do for the environment. Bitcoin will fundamentally shift the world because it removes waste and stupidity out of the system. And we don't need all this extra garbage. Thank you. Education. We don't have education. We don't even have schooling, which is supposed to be structured education. We have state indoctrination. The state believes that they know what's better for your children than you do. Bitcoin fundamentally shifts that because it bankrupts that system. So we go back to a place where we have education, not schooling or state indoctrination. And finally, really quickly, is like, the current economic system that's run by idiots on the right-hand side is giving us an economy that looks like that. Is all of the resources, all the capital goes into the wrong places. And we think we're building muscle. We think we're being progressive, but we're building up stupid shit like Wall Street. Or, the next great application is, the app where you can send the next dick pic, and like make it disappear. Like that's what we think innovation is. Like we're not actually solving real problems because upstream it's all wrecked. So I want to remind all of us why we're here. You are all the Bitcoin network's white blood cells. You're the cyber hornets. So we are here with a moral duty to move into Bitcoin, not just the number go up, which is just as important because we're going to be rich with a moral duty and we'll take over this fucking thing. But we are here to slay the frauds, the commies, and the fascists. Fucking slay them. We're here to slay the slaves, the think boys. That was supposed to say think boys. And the crybabies. Like, we're here to slay them. And as we grow, like, our very existence is going to slay the evil cartoon villains all around the world. Fucking rip them. The shitcoiners, they're irrelevant. They're going to sit there and try and be like, with dreams of being the next Epstein or Fragile Taleb. You know what I mean? Like, keep giving them shit. But they're the ants. Like, they mean nothing. You and I are here to be fucking warriors. We're here to fight. We're here to, like, build a free world, fundamentally. And we're here to help every individual become a sovereign version of themselves. First and foremost, though, starting with ourselves. So I got Francis here, and this was a tweet that I fucking loved when I saw this. It's like, war is coming, and then this is a perfect example of the crypto dweebs. Oh, we can't win. And this guy's like, we don't want you, stay at home with women and children. So like, buy Bitcoin, save your Bitcoin, and together we are gonna starve this fucking beast. Thank you. Do we have time for questions? I don't know if any, I mean, this was more of like not an educational thing, yeah? Okay, does anyone have any questions by any chance? Like, where did I get the memes from? No, I'm kidding. Before I got banned.
Is this recorded?
It is. Shoot. Buy from, like, so when you're buying your Bitcoin, don't buy from shitcoin casinos like Binance and Kraken and all those losers. Buy from a Bitcoin-only company. So that's one thing you can do. You can run a node. That's like super, super important. So when you're running a node, you are the one enforcing the rules for Bitcoin. So what a lot of people run around, and like me and Gladstein have had debates about this, is they say Bitcoin's democratic. No, it ain't. No, fucking democracy is, majority rule. Like there's a great meme I've seen is like 4 out of 5 people love democracy and like 4 people are beating up one guy, basically. So it's Bitcoin is like anarcho-capitalist, like it's individualist. And when you enforce the rules yourself, it's Bitcoin. And you have millions of other people also enforcing those same rules. And we come to consensus voluntarily, not through some coercion of a central planner or government. So I would say buy from Bitcoin companies, run a node, and if you want, get a miner, plug it in, and add some hash power to the network. It's really easy. Any other questions? We've got 2 minutes.
Where do you recommend we should buy the Bitcoin from?
So there is, like, if you're in the States, which I assume, are we in the States? I think. We're in one of the states, like the rest is the gulags. Like you got Swan Bitcoin in the US, you've got like River Financial, so they're 2 companies that I know Bitcoin only. Amber, which is the company I run, Bitcoin, not shitcoin. We'll be launching in the US next month. So if anyone's interested in like checking the app out, like thank you. It's like a full-on, we started the whole Bitcoin DCA thing, but we started in Australia, so I'm sorry, but I'm coming. So you can check that out. But yeah, that's an answer. Not to begin with, just English to start with. But I'm gonna add like Chinese, because like, no, I'm kidding. I ain't adding Chinese. It's gonna be English to start with, then we'll go Spanish, yeah, probably. Shoot. All right. 100%. I love this question. So I would 100% recommend Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, okay? Honestly, so that's one. As much as I hate Taleb, buy what his ghostwriter wrote. So like Skin in the Game is a fantastic book. Like it's really, really, really fantastic. Like Anti-Fragile is amazing. Like, so his books, like he is now the villain that he warned us of in his books. Like he's the fragile, intellectual yet idiot, but his books are fantastic, so I'd recommend that. I mean, all you need to really read is Skin in the Game. Like the rest of them are kind of like him repeating the same shit over and over again. I would definitely recommend, I'm trying to like, anything from Murray Rothbard. So like there's like, he's a fucking legend. Francis, what was the name of the thing you told me yesterday? The 12-pager? Isaiah's Job. So that's another one, but that's not really a book, that's a short paper. And in my last 15 seconds, let me think what else. If anyone's interested in anthropology, like before we moved into Yuval Noah Harari scam anthropology territory, like back in the 60s, a guy called Robert Ardrey, who wrote a fantastic book called The Territorial Imperative. Super, super fucking good, but a bit more complex. One quick one back there. Yep, you.
So I'm a relative not doing this collision of the libertarians and truthers fighting against black hats that seems so extreme. How
Okay, that's a big question, so I'm going to try and answer it in the shortest way possible. It's like, you need to stay consistent with your values. You need to hang around people who are also consistent with your values that hold you to a high value. So that's on a personal and a like psychological level. You need to keep moving your ass out of the fiat system. The longer you hold dollars, the longer you sit in their system, the longer you feed the jailer that is jailing us. So that's like the most important thing. And then think about ways that you can disrupt or fuck with them or like, you know, move around their stupid rules. Like we all just need to become criminals basically, because like anything we, you know, do at this point is like criminality anyway. So fuck them. You know, just do anything you can to subvert the system. Thank you.